Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a great week. I have so much to share with you this week, so let's go ahead and dive in. So I know I talked about it on the podcast some last week, but I'm going to change my filming and uploading schedule. So I'm going to record my podcasts on Fridays and then upload them on Mondays. However, you guys may have seen all of this stuff with the hurricane this past weekend. We are in Northeast Florida. We're in St. Augustine, and we're a little bit, further back from the coast. We're not right on the beach. So fortunately, we didn't have any damage or anything from the storm. And it was just really, once it got over here to us, it was just like a normal summer storm for us over here. But we did do like some prepping just in case. We have 2 young boys, so we wanted to be prepared just in case. And so the end of last week was kind of busy for us. So today I'm recording on Sunday. So I will have a lot to show you because this has pretty much been my podcast that I uploaded on Monday. I filmed on like Tuesday last week. So this is almost 2 full weeks worth of making. All right. So I do have one finished object to share with you. I have got my muscle burr. This pattern is by Ysolda Teague. I said Yolanda last week. I had the wrong name. Ysolda Teague, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I used the Kettle and Hearth Fibers fingering weight yarn, and I used the colorway Nutmeg Spice. So this is the whole thing, undone. Maybe I should have tried it on before I did that. But I really love the way it turned out. This is my second muscle bear hat that I've made. I made one for my husband. It was one of my first knitted objects that I made. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to line it up now. I have not blocked this yet. And I know I need to eventually because there are some stitches that are like, let me see if I can find them. You can see like some of the stitches are a little uneven. So it'd be nice to block it out just to have that kind of even out. But the fit is really good. So that kind of makes me nervous I'm gonna mess up my hair. My hair's gonna be crazy after this. Let me try folding it up first maybe. Might be easier than folding it up once it's on my head. But I really love the way it turned out. I love the color. And overall, it's a good fit. I like the way it turned out. And I'm excited to wear it once it gets a little bit cooler. So that was my only finished object. Let me start with, so now we'll move on to whips, and I'm going to start with my smallest, like the thing that I got the least amount done on, right? This is a little butterfly bag from my shop. I am going to be having a sale soon in my shop. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be setting it up, but if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post the details for it over there. I'm ready to get some of the older bags out of my shop so that I can bring in some new whenever I'm ready. All right, I don't remember where this was last time I showed it to you. I'm not sure. It was I at least had this square done, I'm sure, the last time I showed it to you. So I've got maybe 2.5 squares done since you saw it last, maybe less than that. Again, I'm not really keeping track of where these squares are from. Trying to think. I think this was in the Fairway Fibers Mini Bundle that I got. It was called the Back 9, I think. I don't know golf terms, but I think it was called the Back 9. And that was a while ago that I got that. And then this one was from a yarn shop in North Carolina whenever we visited last year. And then this teal one, I really don't know where this teal one was from. This may have been from the Back 9 mini bundle as well. I'm not sure. I'm not really keeping track of that. I was at first, but then it was kind of, I don't want to say it was sucking the joy out of it for me, but I don't know that that's really important to me in this blanket to remember where all of these minis are from. Maybe I'll regret that one day. I don't know. But most of the minis that I got, and most of the minis that I'm using in it were one-of-a-kind minis anyway, and I think that might be why it doesn't really matter to me, because it's not something I'm going to be able to purchase again for the most part. All right. And that was the Coziest Memories. That pattern is by Kemper, and I am doing, for that blanket, I'm doing the fingering weight. I think I'm using 3mm needles for that. All right, the next whip. So this one has seen a lot of work this past week. This is my Sophie shawl. The pattern is by Petite Knit. This is where I'm at right now. I have quite a few more rounds. Let me count really quick. I've got about 5 more repeats before I start decreasing in this one. I actually didn't realize I was that far along. But I'm doing the medium size for this one. And it smells like mint right now because I have my gum in the bag with it. It smells really good. For this one, I am using, actually, let me show you this really quick. I've got 2 Sophie shawls on the needles right now. So this first one that I just showed you, I am using the West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece 100% British wool. It is their Blueface Leicester DK weight yarn. This is actually, I feel like this is a good price for it. I don't know. For a 100% BFL wool yarn, this was only $20 a skein. I can't remember where I bought this from. I think I got this from Four Pearls in Orlando. But this is in the colorway Umber. And I love it. I love this color. This is like one of my favorite colors on me right now. So this is a Sophie scarf for me, that I'm making for me. And then this is a Sophie scarf that I'm making as a gift. I didn't bring it. Give me 1 second. All right, so the Sophie scarf I just showed you. Oh, it's not the Sophie scarf. It is the Sophie shawl. So it's a similar pattern. It looks the same, but much bigger. So you'll wear it like a traditional scarf, not like a neckerchief or a handkerchief. No, it would be neckerchief, right? I think that's what they're called. Anyway, so that Sophie shawl that I was making, the tan one, the one in the BFL yarn, that was in a DK weight yarn, and I was using 4.5mm needles. Now this one, I went to Joann's. I had someone I wanted to make a gift for, so I went to Joann's to see what kind of natural yarns they have. Now the Joann's that I used to go to, the one that's closest to me, they used to have a very limited amount of natural fiber yarns. They had cotton yarn, but even their cotton, most of their cotton was mixed with polyester. And then their wool was like 20% wool, 80% polyester, or 20% wool, 80% acrylic. So the last time I went, they didn't have very good natural options. And the natural options that they did have, I feel like they were not well priced. I mean, for a big box store brand, I find that some of them, they would charge like $15 for 50 grams. And if I'm gonna pay $15 for 50 grams, I'd rather get like a hand-dyed yarn or, even, I don't know, like a more specialty yarn if I'm gonna be paying that dollar amount for it. Well, I went there again. We were driving through the other night and I was wanting to make this gift. So I was like, well, let me stop and see if that's changed, because I haven't been there. I mean, it's been months since I've been to that Joann's, and they had a ton of natural fiber options, which was really exciting. They had several, and I mean, they were pretty good priced. It was like, instead of $15 for 50 grams, it was like $15 for 100 grams, which was a much nicer price. And this was even less expensive. This is the Eddie Bauer yarn. It is 20% alpaca and 80% extra fine merino superwash. It is 100 grams, and it was only $10 a skein, which was really nice. It is a 100-gram skein. However, they have a DK. I think they call it 3 Light. They have a DK version of this yarn. That is what I meant to buy. This was in the same area as the DK weight yarn, and I did not realize they have it's called Woolpaca, Woolpaca, and they had Woolpacka, which was DK, and then they had Woolpacka worsted. I did not realize this was worsted until I was almost at the checkout counter, and they were about to close, so I couldn't go. I mean, they were closing in like 15 minutes, so I didn't want to go back and grab more, and there was a long line. So I just went ahead and grabbed this, but it is a really thick worsted weight. I would even say that it's probably more of an Aran weight. So for the 100 grams, I only get 131 yards out of this skein. So it is a really thick worsted. For the Sophie scarf, I really wanted a DK weight. I really like the way the DK weight looks with the Sophie scarf. I feel like the Aran weight yarn is almost just a little bit too chunky. So what I did was, instead of using a 5mm or 5.5mm needle, which I would typically use for a worsted weight yarn, maybe even a 6mm since it's an Aran and it's so thick, I decided to use 4mm needles. It is making a much denser fabric, so this will be a very warm scarf, but I really love the way that the fabric is turning out. I was a little bit nervous about it at the very beginning because it was a little, I mean, you can see it's like a little stiff, like it keeps its shape and it's not very floppy. But I mean, once you get to the bigger section, the drape is much better. I think it'll be nice. And I got 3 skeins of it. So this is what I have left of the first skein. And I think I have about 20 repeats left to go before I want to make the large one for this size. Or for this scarf. So I think I have about 20 rounds left to go. So I'm glad I got that 3rd skein because I think that will allow me to at least get close to that large size, even if it's not all the way. And I think that after blocking it, because it does feel quite stretchy, I think that after blocking it, I'll get an even better drape. So I do love how this is turning out. And I do typically I'm not really a big fan of like open fabrics. I do like a quite tightly knitted fabric. As long as it doesn't compromise the drape, like as long as it doesn't make the drape non-existent, I guess I should say. All right, so this was in the colorway Scarlet, and it is I feel like this is picking it up kind of okay. I feel like it's just a tad browner in person, maybe. I'm looking at it and then trying to look at it in the camera. It definitely looks more of like a royal bright red on the camera. And in real life, it's more like a deeper, maybe like a berry red. It's really pretty though. And I'm really excited to finish that. All right, and then I only have one more whip to show you. This is my husband's sweater, and I actually got some stuff done on it this time. I'm super excited about it. So I told you guys that I ordered the 9-inch needles, obviously, or the 9-inch circulars that obviously didn't work. So I got the 16-inch circulars for the sleeves, and those have been perfect so far. I still have some decreases to do, and it's starting to get a little bit tight. So I'm not sure what I will do after that. I don't think I'm using 4.5mm needles. I don't think I have 4.5mm DPNs. Yeah. It looks like I have 5mm or 4mm. So I might have to order some DPNs, but this is turning out really good. I got the bottom ribbing done. Let's make sure I've got it facing the right way. Let me tuck this stuff in really quick. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited this week because I feel like I actually got so much stuff done this week to show you. All right, so this is the Wayfarer sweater. This is by Woodland Knits. That is Liv Olvin. She is the pattern designer at Woodland Knits. And this is the sweater so far. So I've got that bottom ribbing done. Did I have that done last time I showed you? Maybe I did. Now that I'm thinking about it, that feels familiar, me saying that. So maybe I did show you that already. But I do have a sleeve done, and I know I haven't shown you that yet because we went to Atlanta a couple of weekends ago. Is that right? Did I do this then? I don't know. I think I did. Anyway, so I've got a sleeve done, or a sleeve part of the way done. It will be done soon. But this has kind of been put on hold because, you know, I told you guys last week I was making his sweater for our North Carolina trip that has been canceled now, and it was like 90 degrees out here today, so we won't need sweaters here for a while. So that one's kind of been put on the back burner while I finish some other smaller projects that make me feel like I don't know, like I'm accomplished, like I've finished something, those satisfactory knits, if you will. All right, and I feel like, oh, I did have one more thing to show you. So we went to Atlanta, I'm trying to think. I don't think that was last week, and I'm pretty sure it was 2 weekends ago. But then I feel like I would have shown this to you. When was the last time I talked to you guys? I don't remember. When did we go? Anyway, we went to Atlanta, and we stopped at a yarn store in Winder, Georgia. It is called the Yarn Winder, and it was a super cute store. I think it's a fairly new store. I think maybe they just opened like 2 years ago maybe, or last year. But it is a very, very cute store, and the people there were so nice. They were so nice. As soon as I walked in the door, they had a group that was sitting there knitting, and apparently they have sit-in knits all the time. I think they have them on Wednesday and then Saturday and Sunday, and they have them like all day on Wednesday. And they were super welcoming, and they were just really, really sweet. They invited me to come sit down and knit socks with them, but I didn't have any sock knitting materials with me. And we were, you know, out doing stuff. My boys were in the car. We were out doing stuff, so I couldn't, but I wish I could. They were super sweet, and they have a local dyer there, and I bought a few skeins of her yarn. So she is called the Local Craftery. She just started in 2022, and I got this fun little DK weight yarn for my son's traveling blankets. I haven't talked about their traveling blankets in a long time. I have a couple of skeins of yarn I still need to work up for them, but I am making a blanket for me and my husband, and then a blanket for both of my sons. They'll each have their own blanket. Let me pull up. So these are the squares that I have done for them so far, and it's just a closed granny square. And everywhere we travel, I'm getting a DK weight skein of yarn, and I'm making a square, and then I'll put them all together whenever, you know, I have enough squares for a blanket. So this one was from our Winder, Georgia trip, or our Atlanta trip too. And this colorway is called Fall Comin'. And it is by the Local Craftery. And then I got a few minis too. These did not have colorway names. And these are all fingering weight yarns, and I got them for the Coziest Memories blankets. You can never have too many minis. All right. So here is one of them. I feel like the colors are coming out kind of yellowy. There you go. Is that better? Maybe it's just the way my lighting is on my windows. So this is a pink, and it has like dark pinks, teals, greens. It has tons of different colors speckled through. I already wound this one up, and I quite like that one. This one is beautiful. I'll show it to you in the thing, and then I'll take it out. This is like a steel blue, like a grayish blue. It is so pretty. Definitely one of my favorite blues I've gotten so far. I really like this color blue on me lately. I've never really been a blue person, but lately I've been really liking this like cool blue, light blue tones on me. So I'd really like to get something like this. I actually do have something like this. I wouldn't mind making myself a hat out of this, or maybe even like a cowl. But I quite like that blue color. And then this earth tone yellow is just so pretty. I love it. Big fan of neutrals and earth tones lately. Love the way it looks. I posted a poll on my Instagram the other day. I'm trying to decide if I should start repeating colors in the Coziest Memories blanket, or if I should just get more minis. I mean, I really can't. Let's see, I need 100. Right now I'm thinking I'm gonna do a 10 by 11, like 10 squares wide, 11 squares long. So right now I need 120 squares. And I can't buy 120 minis this year. You know, that's a little crazy. So probably wouldn't be able to afford doing 120 different minis for that blanket. So I probably will end up having to repeat colors anyway. All right. And that is all I had for you guys today. That was my finished objects, my whips, my acquisitions. I don't really have anything else to share with you. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I had a great time sharing with you what I was making, and I cannot wait. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot more making done tonight and throughout the week, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. This next week was supposed to be our vacation week, and our trip got canceled, but we're still planning on going out of town this week. So this might be another one of those weeks where I might not record until Sunday for the following Monday. So you guys might see a week's worth of making anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend, or I guess since I'm uploading on Monday now, a great week, and I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye.